pertaining to the AOC discussion and the misogyny stuff from this week, did you guys see the GoFundMe that the Daily Wire guys started for AOC's grandmother?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about that? I'm sorry if I missed it.
No, I don't think we did. So essentially, I'm gonna flub the
Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire basically created a GoFundMe because when AOC went to Puerto Rico to visit her grandma, she took pictures of her grandma's home, which is somewhat dilapidated, and like the roofing was dripping or something like that because of everything Puerto Rico's been through and what little help they've gotten. And her point obviously wasn't, look at my poor grandma. AOC will clearly take care of helping her grandma, the family, whatever. The point was, look, even someone like a U.S. congressperson's grandma is living in these kind of conditions in Puerto Rico. Imagine what everybody else is going through there without any help from the U.S. or with little help from the U.S. And of course, Matt Walsh, Daily Wire, took it upon himself to go ahead and start a GoFundMe for her grandma, not to be nice, but to really sort of dig it in. That really weird that AOC, with all her money, and they honed in on and laser focused on the fact that apparently, I don't know where this one came from. I don't remember where it came from, but she has a Tesla or something. And so they honed in the fact that AOC drives a Tesla and how interesting she was able to buy a Tesla but not help poor abuela. And so they went ahead and raised like $100,000 for her grandma.
Which, I mean, can I just say, they're stumbling all over points, like the difficulty of intergenerational wealth accrual by people who, need to help out different amounts of family members. And also like the idea that the left doesn't have a critique of GoFundMe and the idea that GoFundMes can solve giant societal crises like recovery and or healthcare issues. Like, I mean, just not getting the point, like several times.
Oh, right. I mean, it happens all the time where people don't get leftist critique. Like, here's an example. Over the weekend, I got into a whole long thing online with Bitcoin advocates. And whenever I critiqued Bitcoin, they would come back at me and say, oh, so many rich people and billionaires and wealthy elite people own most of the Bitcoin. Sounds a lot like the US dollar, right? And I would have to say, yeah, it sort of does. I'm not the one offering up the alternative that claims to be any different like you guys are. Right. Like, I'm not the one saying the other one is better. That's you. I'm saying this thing that you're pushing as the alternative isn't an alternative. So what's the whole point of it then? And, that's sort of the thing, right? They don't get these critiques, whether it's the right or the cryptocurrency folks, or, I mean, they are one and the same. It's pretty much
there's an awful lot of overlap.
But sorry, Alex, just of course you got us all riled up with that because that was so ridiculous. What was your point?
It just struck me as your point that you've been making for a long time, that it's a weird kind of like psychosexual thing, trying to own her, trying to goad her into responding to them, and just raising money, ironically, it seems so dumb. Even Fuentes criticized them on Twitter, like, why are you raising money for her? She's our enemy. And they tried to be like, oh, well, all their whole, like, jokey points. And it was very creepy is all. And
right. That's what motivates these guys. It's all about trolling, and it's all about owning someone. Like, that's their entire worldview. They'll vote in we've seen it. They'll vote in someone who will completely make their lives miserable as long as that person's number one priority is to own their political enemies on the left. Like, that's what motivates them. And a lot of people like Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro, and obviously Matt Walsh works for Ben Shapiro's company, Daily Wire. I mean, they're the ones who are making out like bandits. They're the ones getting rich off this shit while their followers are donating money to AOC's grandma because Matt Walsh told them to. Matt Walsh definitely got a lot of clout, got a lot of free PR over that. Definitely helped his name value and his brand out. What did his followers get out of that? They were sending money to AOC. And, AOC's family turned down the money. And part of GoFundMe's whole thing is if the person it's intended for doesn't accept, or receive the money, then they will refund it to everyone. So in this case, they didn't really lose anything. But imagine if they didn't. Imagine if they did lose money because of it. I mean, a fool in their money, right? But it's still amazing to watch these people regularly. Their worldview is to own the other side, even at their own expense. And their influencers, their idols, the ones they follow and do what they're told, they're the ones who make a killing off of it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the conversation. I love that. And not just a one-trick call.
You're not. I thought you were calling. I thought you were calling with a Fight Club, but no.
I'll give you.
Go on, man.
I'll give you one. Ready?
Well, one. Quickly. I just want to make a quick point about the AOC thing. I just think it's odd to me that people don't recognize, like, one, it is about trolling, like, their political opponents. That's much of what Binder says is, it's accurate in almost every case with leftists, but specifically with her. I'm glad you recognize it, because it's like Tucker Carlson talking about her fertility, or, obsessing over what car she drives. They are attracted to her, and it comes out in violent ways and ways people don't understand, in obsessive ways. And to me, it's just so obvious. But it's like bizarre to me that people don't recognize it. So I appreciate you saying that, you see it too.
It's very obvious.
Yeah.
Very obvious. And to leave you, here's Ted Cruz versus Ron DeSantis, and Kamala Harris versus Neera Tanden.
All right, we'll answer you when we're gonna hang up, and then we'll answer you. Thanks so much, Alex.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Take care.
Oh, Neera Tanden would. She's she'll go.
She's born for that.
She'll find a way. She's
born ready.
I'm picking Neera in that one, and then I don't know. That's a hard one. Cruz, DeSantis. I feel like DeSantis is such a blank slate in so many ways, but we know how Cruz is, like, smarminess and weakness. I guess
isn't Cruz kind of tall?
I think
that doesn't mean anything though.
I know it doesn't.
For Cruz, I mean, yeah.
But maybe his dad taught him stuff.
Ron DeSantis' height. Damn, why is this not more easily accessible? He's a fairly.
It's 5'9". Ted Cruz, but yeah, I think Ted Cruz has some of the family, like, Lee Harvey Oswald techniques. So.
So I take DeSantis in this, just because I think DeSantis gives me kind of some jock energy.
No, you see, that's the problem though. DeSantis would be like trying to like valiantly fight or something like that. I mean, I don't know why I'm giving him that kind of credit, but I'm just saying, in contrast to Ted Cruz, who will do something dirty, like, definitely to win. I feel like, I don't know.
Like, Cruz would on you or something like that.
I don't know. I just think Cruz is so weak in so many ways. I do think DeSantis, but
yeah, you could be right. Like, the argument for DeSantis is Cruz shows up with something like ninja throwing stars and can't operate them, right. And DeSantis just like puts him in a headlock and chokes him out.
Yeah.
Or DeSantis wins by default because Cruz doesn't show up. He's in Cancun.
I would take Kamala Harris over Neera Tanden, by the way.
Really? I don't know. Neera,
should have Neera arrested.
Yeah, I wonder, do we know how tall Kamala Harris is?
I did not look up those heights.
Oh, she's only 5'3", actually. Neera Tanden doesn't seem big either.
No.
All right, well, I mean, it's a draw.
Yeah. Can we go to that? Binder brought up QAnon. Why do you guys
put so much stake in height, though?
Like, I mean, that's how you judge boxing, right? Is you look that they measure people up and stuff like that.
Right, I guess, but
it's the weigh-in. That's how much more do we have to go by?